Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Chaosium stream. And we are here today to play Pendragon, my favorite role-playing game, because the new starter set is out right now, and I'm madly excited to play it with these most excellent people that are now smiling and waving or whatever they're doing from their various screens. My name is Mark Morrison. I am a Chaosium author and community ambassador. My pronouns are he and him, and I'll be the game master. We're going to run the start of the sword campaign, which you can find in the starter set. So we're going to kick it off. So who am I playing with today?
Hi, I'm Josephine McAdam, and I play pretend in things and screens and all over the place. That's all I can do. I told you I can't introduce. All right, whoever wants to go next.
If I can add, a fantastic martial artist, a stunt person, an amazing on-screen presence, gorgeous.
Please introduce yourself.
This is the stream. It's us complimenting you aggressively.
Yeah, exactly. We got all start with first complimenting you.
Yeah.
She's not too short.
No,
not too short. Regular size.
Right height.
Right height.
Yeah.
There's no
Hair,
such thing
good.
as
It's the right height to still punch you in the nuts, but also, just be like,
oh my
you're
God,
so sweet.
Introduce yourself.
Sorry. Hi, everybody. My name is KP. I go by KP11 Studios. I am a voice actor, cultural consultant, and you might have seen me online as on a stream somewhere, performing on one of your favorite, hopefully, TTRPG shows, whatever might be the case. Maybe you've heard my voice in something or another and somewhere out there. But thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. All right.
And I'll go next. Hello, my name is Surena Marie, and my pronouns are she, they. I'm also a voice actor, illustrator, and just all around internet human. That's it. That's me. I'm playing, Dame Tamora is who I am playing.
Ta-da. I'm Todd Stashwick. I'm playing Sir Evrain.
Heck,
All right.
yes.
My stats. I'm here to
Ooh, what
roll
a
some
photo.
dice.
All right, let's do that. We are playing the characters, I'm not, they are, from the starter set. So the starter set comes with these kind of 8 dynamic characters, all good to go. So we are shortly going to jump into it. Just a couple of things about Pendragon. There's a wonderful masterpiece of a game designed by the great Greg Stafford, new edition edited by David Larkins. Really designed to kind of ease you into your own Arthurian story. There's a great expression, which is your Pendragon may vary. So we've all got a King Arthur story in our head, or we can make one up, and they're all valid. So my Arthurian take is slightly different to the one in the starter set even, because you can just throw things in. That's the beauty of kind of enduring myth and legend. So don't feel like you need a history degree to play this game. Just be ready to do the right thing when your time comes, because we're going to find out what kind of knight are you. And what kind of knight you all are right now is a bloody cold night. You are all riding through the snow on the 9th of January in England. The snow is not actually falling, but there is white carpeted snow in the fields all around. And this road is very busy. It's a choked and busy road because each of you is riding to Londinium, which you can kind of see the walls in the distance, because there's going to be a grand tournament, a grand melee, to decide who will be the King of Britain. Because since the death of Uther Pendragon 15 years ago, there has been no king. What there's been is strife and war and banditry and unrest and Saxon invasion. It's been terrible. So the Archbishop Dubricius has called a tournament for all to attend London. And upon the road, we have 4 knights riding along. So there is Let's have Evrain. Todd, who do we see riding?
So riding wrapped in woolen blankets of the colors that he rides for, surrounding, but he will not keep his head obscured. He will endure the cold so that all can behold the dimpled chin, the chiseled cheekbones, the piercing green eyes of Sir Evrain, with just perfect windswept bangs and a 5 o'clock shadow as he surveys the land. He always is looking around as if he's aware that somebody's probably looking at him. He is vainglorious. He is strong, but he is loyal, and he is devout to his pagan gods.
All right. Well, is someone looking at you? This is an excellent question. This road is very busy. You are riding behind the banner of your lord, King Leodegrance of Cameliard. So you are part of his household knights. Make an awareness roll. So we're going to start actually playing a game. That's the point. So Pendragon, you have skills. They're generally starting between 5 and 15. And this is a game about rolling low. So all skills are rolled on a d20. What's your awareness skill there, Evrain?
It is 8.
8. So roll 8 or less. Good luck.
I rolled 14.
Nobody's looking at you, man. I'm sorry. You keep looking, but are they looking? I don't know. Or did they look away? We will never know.
And I think most importantly, it kind of doesn't matter.
It does not.
The smolder
assumed.
is more so for himself than
All
anything
right.
else.
All right. So, and in front of you, Leodegrance turns around and says, "Keep a lookout, men. We know we'll be here soon." And even as he says that, you can hear way at the back of the road, like a large column of heavy horses and knights. And there's that kind of sound where people start pushing a crowd out of the way, like, oh, do you mind? Ah! Like somebody is really riding to the front of the queue. And so the ground is kind of really thrumming. So someone is approaching. Let's wonder who else is on this road. I will take anybody can jump in and describe themselves to us.
So Dame Tamora had been kind of staring at like the glistened like snow and sort of dazed off. She is not looking, but she is kind of in her own world a lot. So you see a woman with like wild, wavy dark hair on a honey-colored horse named Ambrose. And she is also dressed in furs. And it is very clear that she is proud of her pagan heritage based on like the patterns and textures of her clothing. Around her neck is a beautiful moon necklace representing her goddess Diana. And she has a bronze quiver on her back as she is the archer. So she's just kind of vibing until she snapped to attention with people riding by.
All right, so they're approaching. So you are, because you are very keen to get here, you're out at the front. Up ahead of you, you can see a strikingly handsome knight who's kind of, throwing his cowl back. And he's riding at the in the vanguard of a king, and you can see a banner. The reason why you're feeling a little bit vague is because you've got a lot on your mind, because last week you were in France with Vivian Delac, Vivian of the Lake, your lady, who said, Timura, here come the accents, people, hold on. I wish for you to go to England. There's something momentous. They will choose a king. Will you go for me?
Always. I'll always go.
I knew that you would. I do not think this is a dangerous moment in the sense of fighting, but it is very dangerous for the future of England. A decision will be made and he will be there, and we will see
Did you have,
if it is the right one.
my lady, did you have a vision?
I have
Did you see
indeed,
this?
always. But I wish for you to see it with your own eyes. You must depart at once.
Yeah. I'm jazzed.
Yeah,
I can't wait to go see
you-
history being made.
You really need to gallop. The lake is frozen over.
Oh, okay. Come on, Ambrose.
All
Let's
right.
go.
Are you galloping?
Yes,
Are you
galloping.
galloping? All right. so you
Galloping
gallop.
real hard.
You gallop out of Vivian's castle with the pennants and banners. It's winter there, but it's the
Yes.
kind of beautiful kind of, nice winter with kind of, like mugs of steaming wine and fur coats and shit. And you and Ambrose are starting to hit full gallop. And behind you is following your squire, Scholastique, who's like, oh, what, we're going? Oh, now?
No, come on,
you gotta have to
Scholastique.
get- Scholastique is very vague. She's always off somewhere else. Galloping. This is so important. You need to make a horsemanship roll. So how good is your horsemanship?
Yay! First roll.
I am
No,
so
second roll.
excited. Second roll.
Yeah.
Horsemanship. Where do I find that
Okay,
on
you'll
my
find that in
sheet?
your combat skills because we ride horses in battle. So
I
in the red
see, I
box.
see. Horsemanship is 15. I rolled an 8.
All right, that is fantastic. We cut to a scene which is French countryside, light snow in the field and the distant kind of cliffs and the sea. And there is a frozen over lake and there is a kind of, a hopeful deer coming down and bang, the surface of the lake shatters and Dame Tamura rides out of it as shards of ice go everywhere. You and Ambrose, in a spray of water, leap out of the lake, boom, onto the ground and gallop on. And Scholastic follows. So that's why you got a lot on your mind. Something's happened in Londinium. All right, who else is on this road today? Let's meet a couple more characters.
All right. Well, you see a young man, very nice. He's got dark skin, short cropped hair, a little bit of a head, like a whisper of a mustache and a beard coming along. Clearly not something he shaved down. It's just that short. It's not quite in there. Kind of gives away the fact of like he's a young person, although he's trying to hold himself in much more of an, upward and kind of chest out kind of a motion. But I think the face kind of gives it away. And you see him with his cloak over his body, clearly uncomfortable in this cold. He's not used to this. He's not used to the chill that is coming.
It is
so cold.
You've never been this cold. And you yourself are reflecting to where you were like last month, which was in Constantinople, like at the capital of the Holy Roman Empire, with your emperor, Anastasius. Anastasius is an emperor. Michael O'Brien from Chaosium, it's his favorite Byzantine emperor. So, big up for Anastasius. If you look up Wikipedia, Anastasius doesn't even get mentioned as one of the great emperors. But what he was a fantastic administrator who reformed coinage, very organized man, and he has organized you. I want you to go to Londinium.
Yes, my liege. And you see him as he's bundled around, trying to keep up with the rest of this crew. He's kind of muttering a little darkly under himself, like, stupid cold, what's the situation?
All right,
what
because having taken this charge to observe the matter of the British choosing a new king and making sure they choose the right one. And it's very clear what Anastasius means by that. A horrible boat journey, and it's cold, and nobody dresses well, and it's freezing, and you're coming to the biggest city, Londinium. Really? I mean, like the walls the Romans built are kind of passable for a bit of a kind of backward settlement, but this is really not that great. So make an energetic roll. We have traits in Pendragon which determine how your character will behave. What is your energetic? Let's see if you're energetic or lazy.
So Sir Asterius's energy level is quite high. He's at 15.
All right, great.
So,
So
and I roll a d20, correct?
you do, and roll under that.
All right. I got a 6.
Okay, so that means that even though it's cold and like you're in shock, you're you're up for it. It's fine. We have
Yeah, it's
one
that
more
youthful
knight to meet
energy.
on the road. All right,
Oh,
who else
yes.
is here?
Dame well, let's say Linnell. Dame Linnell rides along, I think. She just has one horse, one other person. Well, there's multiple horses, but there's one person who sort of rides at her side, and she is wearing scale or chainmail. Chainmail has yellow colors on, yellow and gray, and it's very distinct, and everything sort of matches that. Like all of her gear matches these colors, and she looks pretty drab, I would say. I'm looking at my 0 fashion skill, which is a skill in this game. I just realized
What?
that you can have a 0 in. Her hair is like long blonde, golden blonde, and like matted and dirty. And like she doesn't care what it looks like. She doesn't care what she looks like at any point in time. And her eyes are sparkling with this like contempt and rage. Like she is just looking out for whoever may cross her path at any given moment. And so it is not kind eyes that you find as she rides forward. She is determined. She has nothing else on her mind but the art of war.
All right. A lot of stink eye on the road today. Some of the snow is melting under the fieriness of that gaze. And of course, your armor is slightly old because your armor belonged to your father who died in it when he was murdered.
Yeah.
And in fact, Dame Linnell, you actually haven't been knighted. You've just put dad's stuff on and you're coming to Londinium to
We don't need to
fight.
tell anyone that, though.
Nope.
As far as they're concerned, I'm Dame Linnell.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're far from home. Not that you have a home. Tragic backstory. But you do have a squire. You have a squire, Enid.
Yes.
And Enid is like, all right, let's go. Let's go. Yeah. Let's
Enid. And I think I can. Is my father's squire also with me? There's it's who I've trained with for years. I just figured.
Sure. All right. So you have Enid assisting with the horses and your father's squire, who we shall call Henry. All right. Because I had to make him up, and Henry's a perfectly fine name. All right. Your squire, Asterius, is Licinius, and he's a Roman. He's not a boy or a young girl, as squires tend to be. He's like an old Roman who is, keeping the stiff upper lip, but is enjoying it just as much as you are. Evrain, your squire is Gus. Yeah, you're right, Evrain. Yeah.
I thought I was squireless.
Are you squireless? Then Gus might be somebody else's squire. If you'd like to be squireless, that's fine. But you are a knight of kingly undergrants. So you've probably got a squire. Or if not, you've one that's been assigned.
I'll take Gus. I'm
all right,
happy
you'll
to have
take
Gus.
Gus is he's not the sharpest squire in the shed, but he gets things done. Now, as described, there is a thundering column of knights, and anybody could make why don't we have a battle roll? That'll be fun. Let's have a battle roll. Battle is a skill which just is about military tactics.
I got a 2.
You got a 2.
I got a 2 too.
2. All right.
Hold on.
Fantastic. So
I want to say I got a nat 20 crit, and then it didn't. That doesn't work here. It doesn't. Work
no, thank you for observing.
I got a 1.
Oh, unbelievable. Okay, Pendragon's again.
It's all this cold, man.
Rolling on your skill. If you want to crit, you have to roll exactly your skill. For most of your battle skill is 5. So I love this. 3 of you have made your battle roll, and you immediately interpret the thundering of this line is somebody is making a point. All right. There's a little bit of brinksmanship right now. They're pushing through to both announce themselves and their intent, and also to say, who wants some? You know, Asterius, oh my God, we're being attacked, right? Because you have fumbled. If you roll a 20 in Pendragon, that's a fumble. So you have to rewire your whole brain. Sorry about all those D&D Pathfinder games. That was wrong. 20's a fumble, right? Unless your skill is 20. All right. So all of you will turn around and you can see the banner, the great big flag. It's a white flag with a small square of blood red. You can make a recognize roll. And this knight is very famous. So I'm going to add 4 to your recognize skill because that's a famous knight, a famous king. Anybody recognize who's coming up the road?
I critted that if you said add 4.
Oh, you would so crit this because you've been waiting for him all day. That is King Lot of Lothian and the Orkneys. That is, and all the Orkney boys, his strong
Freaking
sons,
Orkneys.
his knights, they are absolutely thundering down this road. All right. Asterius, trouble, danger, what are you going to do?
I mean, I rolled a 3, so it seems like I recognize them because my, what was it, the recognize was 5, so plus 4, 9. So yeah, I did recognize them.
Licinius would have given you a bit of a briefing just on the boat, like when you're feeling better, sire. There are 2 kings to be aware of, in particular, King Leodegrance of Cameliard and King Lot of Lothian. Those are the 2 most likely to vie for the crown. So yeah, this is King Lot. You had the briefing, you got the dossier, you know all about him.
Okay.
Evrain, Lot's gonna start some shit up. What are you gonna do? Everybody now must make a horsemanship roll just to kind of keep your saddle. It's not so much that you're not going to fall off. It's more like you're not going to get barged off this road.
I rolled a 3.
Beautiful.
4.
Yep. No worries. So you're not gaining ground.
I got a 17.
17. All right, there's Linnell, all fierce, like, you know, here I go.
Yeah.
And the first thing that happens is a King Lot literally rides you off the road.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. You know what? I feel like I'm going to take this moment to just say that, like, my highest trait, the one that, like, defines me, that's at a 16, is that I'm vengeful. And you said I just got, like, kicked off the road.
Fantastic. All right. So, whang, they come thundering through. So I guess because you introduced your character last, okay, you're at the back of the column. So here they come. Lot is like, you know, absolute kind of face of granite. He's just looking at the White Tower, the Tower of London. He's looking at St. Paul's Cathedral. He's looking at where he will be crowned king when he wins the grand tournament tomorrow. So he ran you off the road and didn't even notice. Behind him rides his son, not quite a knight. And you just see him briefly as he goes past go, there's a little bit of an apology from him as you get ridden into the ditch. All right, and
you now will be king.
And after him comes the second son, and the second son goes, like he you know, you've ridden to the ditch. He like thinks that's the best thing.
Joffrey.
So they are
second son,
Dead.
son,
right.
just making a list.
All right, Asterius.
Oh, man, it already starts.
Asterius,
Yes.
how did you react? You thought the fight was going to start up. What did you do?
I mean, as an observer, I think I'm just going to, as someone who's also very prudent, I think he was instructed by his emperor to not start a fight. He is essentially he views himself at the same importance as an ambassador of his country. Clearly, there seems to have been a mistake that he got sent here of all places. There's no reason why the emperor would normally send him. It's not like he hates him or anything. I mean, what possible issue could have happened that would have been, the cause? Clearly, I'm the good guy here, and
I was going to say, so in being prudent, like, okay, I'm not going to get in the way here. You've actually made yourself incredibly obvious. You've ridden off into the kind of field, and Lot absolutely clocks you and throws his hand up like a stop and says, You there? Where are you from?
Yes, oh, hello. I'm blanking on my
You're
medieval.
from Constantinople, aren't you?
That is I. My name is Sir Asterius. I come from Constantinople as a representative of my emperor.
Good to
Pleasure
see
to-
you. Well, this is a good meeting. The gods have blessed us. Join us, Asterius. Ride with me.
Yeah. He's like trying to get an edgeway word in, trying to talk, and he's like, what would be as KP? What would be the prudent thing to do?
Okay,
Like
well,
the honorable thing.
first of all, you could check your courtesy. Right,
Ooh.
you have a courtesy skill here,
Is it on the
and that's
skill
like
or is it
courtly
on
behavior.
the...
What's the
Oh,
right
there it
thing
is.
to
Yeah.
do? Mhm.
Okay. It's at a 12.
Yep. How'd you go?
Okay. Let me
Have a roll.
roll it. Okay. I got an 8.
You got an 8. Okay, so well, you've received an invitation from a king, so it would be certainly courteous. You've been offered hospitality, as it were. But the other thing is you want to check is your intrigue, right?
Ooh.
So make an intrigue roll, and I hope from Constantinople you're a bit good at that.
What does that come under? Intrigue?
It's in your skills.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah.
I see it. There it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let me roll. It's a so my intrigue is supposed to be a 13, and
Yep.
I got a 19.
That's absolutely fantastic. So now Licinius, like the old Roman squire, he knows what's going on here. Lot has basically clocked you. You are basically Emperor Anastasius in this situation. You are the Holy Roman Emperor's ambassador. And Lot, who's going to be king, has just gone, I'll have you. You're with me now. And you just missed it. You go, I'll be courteous. All right. So, I'll be prudent. So you've been swept up into his entourage.
Before I do go, my lord, if you don't mind, I actually came here with an entourage of my own, a crew of my own.
Bring along!
Own. Oh.
And
But
so
if you don't mind,
you find yourself in the middle of all the kind of the Orkney nights being gone along. All right.
He's like looks back and tries to look at his posse that he kind of is making sure wondering what the hell is going on.
All right. Now, up the front before all this happens, Tamura, you're riding along, and up ahead is Leodogrance's banner waving. You can see that tremendously kind of handsome knight up ahead. Looks like
So handsome.
he knows that
He
the rider's
knows.
approaching. He's thinking about what he's going to do about that. I'm looking forward to finding out myself. Down the back is where kind of all of the additional kind of household, and there's 2 young women riding back there, and one of them just turns to you and she says, she's got black hair with just where the winter light hits it, just a little hint of copper, and she says, what's your horse's name?
Oh, this is Ambrose. He is my very best friend. What is your horse's name?
Oh, this is, you've got me. I didn't think that you would be so courteous. Now I have to make up a name for a horse. That's amazing.
Oh.
This is Sable.
Sable.
I can see that he's very fast. And is that a bow?
Oh, yes.
I've never seen one like that.
No, you haven't. Well, if we get to town and we have spare time, I can teach you how to shoot it. What's your name?
I would love that. I'm Gwen. I
Gwen.
love that so much. Hey,
Gwen, where do your loyalties lie? Out of curiosity, because I'm kind of understanding.
That's my dad. And she's pointing at the banner of the king.
That's your dad, Gwen? Wow.
Yeah. And as she says that's my dad, just for a second, she looks in that direction and she lingers for a moment. And you could make an intrigue roll for me.
Yes.
Or a flirting. I'll take either.
I mean, let's see what we got. No, flirting is low. Flirting is lower than I wanted it to be. So it's intrigue. I rolled a 13.
Okay, right. So there's something in the way she looks up that road, something in her expression you don't quite read. But fair. That is that. You have been barged in the ditch, Linnell, and you're fuming as they all go thundering past. All right, Evrain, you're right at the front of the column. You've had enough time. What's the play? Like Lot's making a thing here. He wants to get into London before Leodegrance, and he kind of wants to, it's a bit of a perfectly legal hip and shoulder, as we say in Australian rules football. So how are you going to respond?
So Evrain understands that it is the boastful fool that shows his weakness. So he will allow him to ride ahead with his false sense of confidence, so that he can. He's not worried about his own. He doesn't need to prove, because he has such a high belief in his own abilities. So he just what he will see. Or what he will show as Lot rides by is that he's not shaken by this man's presence, but he will defer. He's a king. He will defer. He's courteous. He will defer as he rides by, but he will let him know that he's not impressed.
All right, so that is you kind of stand firm. You're being courteous, but you're definitely kind of showing a lot of front. And that kind of disappoints them. They were kind of hoping for, you've almost like treated them in a way in polite contempt. So still a lot of stink eye from the Knights of the North. And you'll see that there is a very freezing looking fellow who's unbelievable. What is he wearing? You've never seen that. All these reds and golds, and like he looks quite rich, and very short hair. He seems to be kind of almost dragged along with kind of Lot's column. You don't know if it's a kidnapping or what's going on there. So Asterius, as you're being swept along with Lot's campman in the ditch, Linnell. There's an old hedge knight, and he's riding along with his son, who's got that kind of, I'm a new knight kind of look. The kind. Like, what can I do? And what he doesn't do is help the person who just get ridden into the ditch. He's off looking for something. But however, his squire says, "You want a hunt?"
I can help myself, thank you.
No,
and I'm going to.
I didn't mean to.
I get up and she doesn't care about the mud or whatever. In fact, she even, leaves it on her face and almost like makes a shape so that like all you see are like just the eyes that show forth, but it like leaves like this mud caked on her. I'm here for one thing, and that's all I'm focused on.
What's that?
Winning. Why are you here?
Yeah, right. Yeah, my brother's going in as well. He's not very good. You'll probably get him. Don't let him know I said that.
Is that your brother who just rode by?
Yeah, my brother and my dad. Yeah.
What
Anyway,
are their
well,
names?
see you there. Good luck and all.
All right. I'm gonna get back on my horse. Give my squire a stink eye for not helping me.
Certainly didn't.
It's like, all right. And get
All
back
right.
on my
Well,
horse
that
and
was-
ride forward.
That was Henry. Henry, who was there the day your dad was killed by Picts. Because your lands are in the north, and that's why they built Hadrian's Wall, and why it didn't work. What were your lands where you weren't wanted? We don't know. But certainly there's always been strife on that border, strife across Britain. So the reason why Henry's not helping you is he's too busy, like, the kind of Knights of the North, because in fact there are some Picts riding in among the northern contingent. So Enid, however, is kind of gathering the horses and sort of like, are you right there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
Sorry?
Can I speak to Henry as he's like making eyeing up all of these other groups coming in and say, Do not fear these men, for they all serve lords. They are all bound to orders that they've been given. They lack what we have, which is pure drive to keep fighting. These, they just do as they're told. They're all the same. And it will be far too easy to slay them one by one and bring them to their knees, as they're already there for their own lords.
I see your father in you when you speak so well and so nobly. But I'm not sure he would hold to all those words, but it is your path. All right. So up the front, Lot and Leondegrance are now meeting. And definitely kind of a moment when the two kings ride alongside. Leondegrance has taken your lead of Rain. You know, when he kind of sees you kind of making these gestures, he says, yes, of course, not the popinjay of it. But, you know, Leondegrance says, Lot, good to see you. Yeah, you too, Leondegrance. Well, be good to have a king tomorrow. I'm sure I can count on your cooperation. Well, tomorrow's another day, as they say. Yeah, very good day it'll be too. And that's the exchange they have. As everybody is arriving. As you're now close to the walls of Londinium, you can again see the old Roman walls, the Lud's Castle on your left, and the White Tower, the Tower of London on your right. It's heaving. Like everybody knows that there's going to be this kind of huge melee here. And indeed, the word has gone out. It's going to use blunted weapons, which the gossip in the column is like, what kind of fight is that? I mean, seriously? Oh, I think it's a Frankish thing. Oh, what do they know? So everyone's kind of looking forward to a big fight, but sorry they won't get to kill people. And it's a new thing the Archbishop has called for under sight of God to choose the king. As you arrive, you can see a dazzling sward of emerald green. They have staked out the tournament field. And so they're just kind of sweeping it and clearing it. And they've almost like defrosted this massive square of kind of green turf. And already all around that tents and pavilions are all being set up. Now this is, in terms of the Great Pendragon campaign, this is really early. This is 15 years after the death of Uther. So things are still a bit rough and ready. You haven't kind of got knights with, you know, paper mache geese on their helmets and all that kind of stuff going on. It's like everybody this is their first time of kind of being civilized. And there's this undercurrent of violence because there are people here who've recently been bushwhacking each other on the road. But the Archbishop has called this kind of truce and tournament. And so people are here because everybody agrees we need a king. And hopefully you do too. So you are being, because Asterius is being swept along right past you, Evrain, with a bit of a kind of a help me expression on his face. do you want to say anything as this fellow goes past you?
I will actually now that you know Leondegrance and Lot have moved on ahead. I give a little kick to my horse to keep pace with Asterians.
All right, so you're riding alongside each other.
And do we already, just to make sure, we already know each other, right?
Absolutely not.
We've been okay.
No.
Yeah, no, we do not.
No, this is
Absolutely
the moment.
not.
Yeah, probably not.
Okay.
Because that would have been easy, and I like long rambling preambles. And I go, "Oh, is that the time?" God. So anyway,
And
yes,
I'm super curious because he's from Constantinople, and the colors that he rides with speak to that. And then I see him keeping a pace with Lot's crew. I'm curious immediately why
it
he's
might
thrown
seem,
himself.
I don't know. Yeah, somebody in a tuxedo going along with a crowd of Hell's Angels. It's quite incongruous.
Exactly. And so my curiosity gets the best of me, and I ride alongside, but I immediately take in his confusion on his face, and I, you're all right.
Oh, just taking in the sights. I apologize. My name is Sarah Asterius. How pleasure to meet you. I ride from Syria.
Welcome. Why ride with them?
Well, the honorable sir has invited me to come along with him, and as a representative of my country, I felt that it would have been ill-mannered to have refused his generous offer. So
you do know it makes it look as if you are representing them.
I'm just an observer. No, I mean, what I feel that it would have been a poor representation of my country and myself if I were to have refused.
And he counted on that.
I see. Well, now I'm in a
He's trying to curry favor with your lord.
Oh, well, I mean, so aren't we all? But well, what do I do now?
No, we all aren't.
I see. Well, damn it. I don't suppose you have a solution on how I can perhaps recluse myself from this
Ride for your
situation.
emperor. Don't ride for him.
Right. Well, I don't really have much of my
You're
entourage left.
holding up the line. So that was King Lot up the front. Here comes King Urien of Gore, and he's a big man, and he's scarred. He's been fighting, and with him is this striking woman with long grey hair, and she's giving you quite a kind of a oh no, sorry, I've got the wrong person. With him is a striking woman with long black hair. And she is dressed in black, and she has kind of white lace around, and she's looking very piercingly at you, and saying,
At me? Or at him?
Totally ignoring you, Evrain, which is hurtful, frankly, but definitely looking.
He makes excuses in his head.
Pardon?
He makes excuses in his head.
She's just busy.
She is a queen, you know. So Asterius, you must choose now if you're going to take Evrain's sage counsel, or if you are going now. If you want to throw it to the dice, Pendragon's a great game which has traits that you can just say, you know what, I can't decide. Let's see what my character could do, or you could decide. Either way, Urien is going to ride through you.
Let's let the game decide. The dice gods.
Unless you step out. What do you want to do?
Let's let the dice gods decide. And
right.
You know what? Let's test this game. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
What should I roll?
Well, I think Evrain has given you great counsel, and that is prudent, to extract yourself from fealty. So what is your prudent?
Oh, I'm a 16, so.
The thing is, you're famously prudent. You are, when you have a 16, you cannot not be prudent. So you suddenly think, oh, thank God. Right. So you literally could join Leon de Grance's column. That's kind of the only way to go. If you go out into the field, you'll just get nabbed again. But it would be prudent to extract yourself.
Right. As soon as I hear that, I turn to Sir Everin and just kind of do this number and bow to him, and then kind of just slowly slink back away from the other. It's just like slow my horse's roll. Anwar, slow down a little. And then make my horse slow down.
So Evrain, you managed to get this person out of the trail of Lot, which is a win for the Odogrants. Well done, go team. And Urien is oblivious to the whole thing. He just wants to get to where the beer is. But the woman in black she clocks the whole thing and she looks at you, Avrain, right into your eyes. Her eyes are deep and black, and she says, you understand that she does not even know your name. And she just glances to the top of the White Tower and then just gives a smirk and rides on. Now, you've never seen that person before in your life, but you had heard that King Urien of Gore is married to a witch.
Clearly.
All right.
Oh.
And
Someone
as,
looks at you with black eyes and reads your soul. There's some witchcraft involved.
and
Serena
as,
and I over here wishing that our flirt skills were higher.
It's true.
all right. So Asterius is rescued. Hurrah.
Huzzah.
And Lot is so busy it's going to take him a while to notice. But now everybody is setting out. They're setting up their tents. They're getting ready for the grand kind of melee tomorrow. So you are still riding along behind. You will also have seen that exchange, Tamura, with Avrain and Sir Asterius. And now Leondergrants and his knights are kind of going off and setting up their pavilions. You can see that the sheriff of Londinium is at the gates, kind of directing traffic. Now it's like, you know, like a rock festival, and like everyone's kind of pitching their tents. And of course, Lot is trying to get the best spot to set up, and so it's just going to go on all day with this kind of constant one-upmanship. And everyone is now kind of coming off the road as more and more people are coming in. I look forward to that archery.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
That was, of course, I have a habit of looking people in the eye and we're not at a table. I'm terrible at stream games. Tamura, Gwen looks at you and says, I'm looking
Oh.
forward to that archery.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Are you used to this with your father and all?
Oh, yeah, I can, he's fine. We do what we want. He knows we're safe.
Are you not close?
Well, we're close. Of course. I love him. I love him so much. And at that point, she's looking at him, this old scarred king. And what is on her face is extreme worry, you know, like about what's happening, what's going to
Yeah.
happen.
My Lady Vivian, she said that the world is changing soon. And I'd like to help you change the world in the way that suits you. What would you want to happen tomorrow?
In my heart are two things. I wish for my father to be king, but so many times we have put him together after terrible fights, and I'm amazed that he is alive. And I do not think that Lot would accept him as king. I want all these things. I don't know. It's, but I would like to change the world. You've put something into her head, like literally, like not a light bulb, more like a candle. Ding. You've inspired this young woman, unlocked a potential in her that she had not kind of seen was there. So that's quite a moment. All right. Getting ready. Squires doing their thing. Everybody make a squire roll. All right, just to see if your squire's got things in hand. Henry's an old squire, no problems, knows how to set up a camp. Doesn't need a roll. Licinius, old squire, like Roman officer, very organized, doesn't need a roll. Scholastic, so off with the pixies.
Yes, we are
14.
fully chasing. I am chasing her because she found a bunny. And I'm trying to get her to set up camp with me.
Yep.
Because I rolled a 19. So
oh yeah, actually no, I can tell you why Scholastic is there. She goes, there is Queen Morgause and there is Queen Morgana. They are the daughters of Duke Gorloy. They are powerful. Can you not feel it? And as she says that, you can actually see Scholastic's hair is just starting to rise by itself. It's drifting up like this.
Love her.
As she is like watching Morgana ride past, and in that kind of shouldn't her neck have stopped turning by now? Just a little bit too much turn on the neck
Oh,
as Scholastic kind of watches Morgana ride past. There is power here.
Can I roll spiritual to see if I can also like
Yeah,
vibe check
fantastic.
Morgana?
Let's do that. Yep, for
yeah,
sure.
vibe check.
That is a 12 under 16.
All right. So you are aware, and you can see the ravens perching on the White Tower and how attentive they are. You feel like this is the eye of the world at this moment, that something momentous will occur here. And so you feel honored to be chosen by Vivian. Avrain, how did Gus go setting up your tent? He has a squire skill of 14.
Yeah, no, he did not do well.
Right. All right. So he's like things are not standing up, or he's being too like, time for a beer. Like he's a bit useless. So you're going to take the matter in hand, or just like whatever.
So I am deeply distracted by the White Tower now that the witch put this seed of intrigue into my soul, and so I'm like yeah, but I just expertly set everything up, but not even looking at what I'm doing. I'm just like
All right.
as I'm like I'm really distracted by what she said to me.
All right. So
Can I?
no object lesson for Gus. He's discovered that if you vague, someone else will come and do you along. Excellent teenage lesson. So Rain gets your whole kind of camp set up. And indeed, is that a figure in the White Tower? Is she coming out to the balcony to look? The lady Mossad, more cards or Mercedes? What should we go with? You saw her once. The last time you saw her from afar. You've never spoken.
Oh, I know.
You've never heard her voice.
She doesn't even know how I exist.
Oh,
She's the one that humbled him. She has tamed the lion. She is my everything.
All right. So you are, that's fantastic, setting things up while looking over there.
Could I help Dame Tamura when I see that their camp is not getting set up, perhaps?
Oh,
and
because both of us are spacing out. Yeah,
right, because you're spacing out. Do you need a hand, my lady?
Oh, I would love a hand. Thank you so much. I don't do the courtly king thing often. I mostly live in the woods. So and I'm gonna start.
And I just start setting it up.
What is your name?
I'm Dame Linnell.
Dame Linnell. That is a beautiful name.
I suppose it is.
Do you have opinion on kings yet, Dame Linnell?
I will point towards wherever King Lot's camp is.
Mm-hmm.
He's not winning. Not on my watch.
I
Beyond
think
that, they're all the same, aren't they?
the men are, but I do believe that the world is often shaped by remarkable women, such as Morgana, perhaps.
Morgana.
Have you heard of her?
Have I actually, you know what? Great time to ask. How much do we know in general, especially if I am coming from
You're from the north, right?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, you absolutely know that Morgan Le Fay or Morgana, they both work. She is the wife of King Urien of Gore, and she is one of the three daughters of Duke Gorloy, who was killed by Uther Pendragon when Uther fell in love with Igraine, Duke Gorloy's wife, and laid siege to him. You know, and they do have a reputation all those women as enchantresses. You got to remember that one suspicious Christian's witch is another pagan's enchantress. So you can decide between your spiritual and your worldly what your take is, but it is a famous name. And in the middle of that musing, Scholastic turns to you, Linnell, and says, "The only repayment of vengeance is more blood." Drops that non sequitur and just drifts off again. Strange kid. All right. So you
love
have
her.
pondered.
I like her.
She's perfect.
And that other hedge knight, the old hedge knight, they're camped. You're kind of in the kind of, we're not here with a king. We're just hoping to kind of get into the scrap, kind of, like in the cheap seats, as it were, in the fields. You are kind of camped with a lot of kind of other unattached mercenary knights. And you can hear that young knight just berating his little brother, the squire. "Oh, you're useless. I knew you'd be useless. Dad, he's useless. Give him a go. He'll be fine." Bloody hell. And you can see, of course, he's actually doing it really well. Like, he's not useless in the slightest. His brother is just bullying him. All right. Asterius, you were rescued, as it were, from a diplomatic incident. You now can join King Leondegrance and hang out with this Sir Brain, or you can say, I'm going to be the diplomat. I actually need to get into Londinium. I need to kind of go in there, find the Archbishop.
Oh. I think that once he has been extracted from this situation, he's going to give his thanks to Sir Everett as his courteous thing to do, but then he's going to remind himself of why he's here and why he shouldn't be distracted or pulled aside like he was. He kind of chastises himself for not being dutiful as he should have been. And he will, and in fact, go to you said the Archbishop?
Yes.
Yes. So he will, in fact, go. Out of curiosity, what is the purpose of visiting the Archbishop? Just kind of to ask him questions about the process. What's the goal?
You're here as an ambassador and as observer, and also from your emperor's point of view, to make sure the right person is crowned, and that they're going to have a good relationship, be part of the empire. So the Archbishop is, of course, the church here, so this is a very important person for you to meet.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Do I have a letter from my emperor or something that I can?
Of course you do. You do now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Beautifully done. The calligraphy. You
so
do
I write out. Yes,
All
I
right.
write out to meet the Archbishop and have a conversation with him.
All right, indeed. He is. You will talk to some of the lay clergy, but when he hears that you are here, he does come forward. Where is the ambassador?
And immediately as he sees the Archbishop come in as a devout Christian himself, you see Sir Asterius drop to one knee and what would be the appropriate title or way to address an Archbishop?
Monsignor? Monsignor?
Monsignor? Is that
Archbishop will probably cover it.
Archbishop? Okay.
But he's pleased to see you. I'm glad that we have representation from Constantinople here. You're most welcome, sir.
It is my honor. Before I proceed any further, I wish to present to you a letter from my king, if you do not mind. He told me that it is of utmost importance that you read it.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Well, we will arrange for apartments for you, and there will be a service tonight in St. Paul's. And you are, in fact, at St. Paul's now, out in the courtyard. So you're invited to that. All right.
Much appreciated.
So we will.
Sorry.
I
I was just going to ask, if you do not mind, have you perhaps already made a decision or have an idea of who you think is the best candidate for the kingship that is to happen?
It will be decided tomorrow that the winner of the Grand Malay. We have
True. But perhaps with your wisdom and your
please
knowledge.
come through, and he will take you into St. Paul's and into a room, and say, I will speak frankly that we are a nation that needs a king. We've not had a king for 15 years, and we are past time. There's not been a high king since Ambrosius, who was slain by Vortigern. We must have a king again, and I have had all of the kings of England and surrounds have agreed that this will be the method of the decision, and it will help if they will hold by the decision, and I will look for you with your word to back me up on that. I do not know who it will be, but I know we need one. Can I count on you?
Of course, Archbishop.
Good.
I would do my part.
God will choose the king. We will stand by them.
Praise the Lord. Yes.
Thank you. And he gives you that thank you in the kind of, well, I'm a busy man. That was a good chat. And your interview's done.
I said good day, sir.
All right. So
you just see him kind of like fumble a little, turn to look around and goes, kind of where to go, and then kind of just follows whatever crowd he can see in direction he might supposed to go. Clearly out of his element.
No, somebody does indeed, like a page takes you to what they think is a really kind of nice kind of, room in a good inn, and you'll be very comfortable. Oh, really? Are you kidding? It's drafty. You call that a fire? How do they eat this stuff? What is this? Stodge in brown. That's what I would describe this as. So you're
oh my God, he's so spoiled.
As the encampment's being set up, and now the kind of party's kicking off. Streets of London are absolutely packed. There's kind of food being cooked in the street. There's the inns are spilling over. People are drinking. There's animals. There's kind of animal fighting going on. There's entertainments and jugglers, and you've got to realize from a point of view of a knight, most of them have just kind of been out the back of Cornwall, like looking after the liege's land. It's really like a gap year for a young kind of 21-year-old knight, like, whoa, party. So there's this tremendous energy, like everyone is kind of thronging into the streets of London.
Can I ask, just to be clear, so different knights are they going to be representing or competing for the various kings?
This is
tomorrow?
An excellent question. So there is a herald who is assembling the lists for the Grand Malay tomorrow. And you can nominate the liege that you will fight under.
Okay, so we'll have to
if
pick
you're
one,
unattached,
yeah.
you can choose someone. So you could choose Urien of Gore, you could choose Lot, you could choose Leondegrance. There's the Centurion King of Malahide. He has 100 knights, but he only likes 100 knights, and he's got 100, so no room for you.
Is there a way for me to find out? You said there were some Picts that rode in. Can I find out who they're riding for?
Yeah, they're going to be fighting on Lot's side.
Okay, great.
So you're going to be fighting on the other side.
Makes sense.
Yeah, whichever one's not that. That's
right. Well, you could certainly fight on Leodegrance. That would be. In fact, there's one of his knights over there.
Why, hello.
God, that fellow's handsome. Seems to know it too.
I mean, your words, not mine, but again.
You spend a lot of time on yourself, I can tell.
I represent my lord in appearance as well as skill.
And your lord is?
Autographs.
Tell me, why do you ride from?
And I go into a very long, satisfying story.
Yeah. At the end of it, I respect that because I'm an honorable person still, you know, like I can tell that you're loyal, which I also love, you know, I'm like, I can get behind that. And I'm totally gonna ride for Leotigrans as well.
Woohoo! And normally again his past is one of he has a bit of a Lothario past, but since the lady in the White Tower has claimed his heart, he is very distracted even in this conversation.
Oh yeah.
And oddly, even in the cold, he's kind of undone his tunic so that in case she sees while he's practicing with his sword.
I love that. I'm not very
just in
aware, but
case.
I'm gonna roll just see if I even notice this. My awareness is not great, but no, I can't tell what you're doing. This is normal. This is what
Yeah.
knights do.
This is how dudes who ride for Lotograms behave.
Yeah.
That's how we do it. We undo our tunics in the middle of winter, and we don't make eye contact when we're waving our children because we stare at towers. That's what we do. That's how we do it.
All right. Nothing to do until the fight tomorrow. How are you gonna stay out here? Are you gonna go to St. Paul's and pray? Are you going to stay out here and kind of, you know, check your equipment and train? Are you going to go out into
I'm gonna pen a feebble poem.
Yes, good.
And then I'm going to hope that because my goddess is one of nature, I'm going to hope that perhaps an owl will bring my poem to the White Tower for the lady to read.
I can respect that.
I love that.
I'm hoping.
Let's have a compose roll.
Oh, that's gonna go well.
I want to
how good is your
compose? 5. But love is a many splendored thing, because I rolled a 3.
Yes.
All right, you've had a lot of time to think about this. That is
what I'm gonna say. Yes, and he's slaving over.
Oh boy,
and he's drinking All Father, and he's putting his heart into this parchment, and then he's hoping that there is a messenger owl, because there's always
you're hoping for a miracle. I love this, Linnell. You just rocked up and like this completely distracted man and says, "Oh yeah, you can fight." And you're kind of walking past Leotigrans who goes, "Who was that?" So you just kind of more or less just join up,
insinuating yourself in.
But however, again, the daughter Gwen, she thinks, she says, "Oh wow, you're going to fight tomorrow." Says to you, Linnell.
Indeed, I am. We're all here to fight, aren't we?
Well, good luck. I've got an archery lesson later, but I'd like to learn some sword as well.
Who's teaching you archery?
Dame Tamura.
So just so you know what Dame Tamura is doing when you look over, Dame Tamura is fully talking to Urin of Gore, and is sort of like, we can figure out what that conversation is, but it's like there is yeah. I don't know. Can I go talk to him? Am I allowed? I feel like
to saunter over.
You certainly can. You can wander into his encampment where
I have wandered into his. Yeah.
The other thing that happens with knights is that when they're in their own castle, like all the beer is watered down, like the wine's not very good. And so they get into these kind of big festivals and suddenly the alcohol's quite good. And everyone just gets maggoted, right? So they are starting early. There's a lot of hair in this camp, a lot of hair. You can kind of wander through, and they're all very cheery with the certainty of people who are going to win tomorrow. So yeah, you can stroll right on in.
Yeah, and it looks like I'm fully just raging with those guys. That's what you see.
Yeah. And I'll say to Gwen, and do you know, does does the dame fight for King Urien then?
I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, well, I'd love
Anyway.
to love a sword lesson. Oh, show me some. Can you show me something now?
You want me to teach you how to swing a sword?
Hey, just round the back of this tent so Dad doesn't see it.
Where is your dad?
Oh, he's over there, just meeting dignitaries. It's the king.
My God, your dad's King Leodocrans.
He always has been. I need a sword
Right.
because I found out today I've got big destiny coming my way. Dame
Every
Tora has
daughter
seen
should
it.
have a sword, and I'll take my own sword and put it into her hands. Sort of like I want to like hold it with her so that it doesn't fall right away.
All right. So, is it reckless to teach King Leonogrand's daughter swordplay? Or who knows? Let's see how it goes. Make a sword skill for me.
Okay. Okay, sword skill. And yeah, it's 11 under my 15.
All right. Now you're accomplished to train, and she finds it. She's really fascinated, but she's not going to go for long because of just arm strength is not there yet. But
Yeah.
she has a hankering. You've both been an inspiration to her. So you're drinking with Urien. You're composing poetry, waiting for an owl. It's getting dark. London is kicking off.
You're just waiting for an owl.
Juggling
You're
and kind of
just waiting so patiently for that owl.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Any time now. I think you're going to St. Paul's, Asterius for the evening service. Is that right? So
Sorry, say that again.
You're going to St. Paul's for the evening service?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Although I would imagine, no, that's still within the building. Never mind. Yes.
Okay. Lovely. All right. Great.
What Christians do.
Tamura and Linnell, how are you spending your night?
I think that the reason why Tamura was fully introducing themselves to the other King's Camp is I wanted to I'm basically telling them spooky ghost stories and like having like bar drinks with them, but to get closer to the queen because I want to suss out what that is. I just want to know what that is.
All right, make an intrigue roll.
Great. Oh, I am so busy. Telling stories. So I failed 17.
All right.
So I feel like Tamura shot her shot and maybe it didn't go very well.
All right. So that is to say, they're good company. Like, and also they're drinking, and if you're hanging with them, your
booze is a little stronger than it
was
elsewhere.
Good.
So that
that's good.
You might want to check to see if you are indulgent.
Okay.
I'm used to the forest.
So check your indulgent, or if you prefer, you can check your temperate. You can choose one of those to roll to see how that's going for you.
They are exactly equal.
Well, nominate one and roll it.
Yes. So I'm going to roll temperate because I knew I have to give an archery lesson later and I can't be drunk. I'm too honorable for that to happen.
All right. Good luck. Have a go.
Okay.
Good luck, he says the Australian.
You are entertaining them, hanging out, but it becomes clear to you that Morgana is not here. You're not, and they're just, so you have a goal, but it's not being accomplished. But there is this kind of older fellow in a robe. Were you looking for someone?
Oh, I was looking for Morgana.
She is a hard one to find. Sometimes she's here and sometimes she's there. You
Wow.
yourself have ridden quite far to be here. I can.
Yes.
You should go to
Uh,
St. Paul's. It'll be very interesting there tonight in the courtyard. Would be a good
St.
place
Paul's.
for your lesson.
There's like a flash that happens like behind Lady Tamora's eyes, a flash of recognition.
And as there's a flash
Yeah.
in your eyes, you realize this old man, his eyes are golden.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Have a nice night.
And thank you.
Uh,
And I do like a little
All right, now
bow.
let me fill your tankard up there. And so
Ah.
it's got a hairy knight, fills your drink. You turn around, the old man's gone.
yep.
Ooh. I'm gonna
Um,
take my drink and go.
Okay, here comes your owl. I shit you not. An owl comes down and lands on your tent and does the owl head thing.
Probably my favorite quote of the night. Here comes your owl. I
Here-
shit
here-
you
here
not.
comes
I
your-
shit you not.
Verily, sir, forsooth.
Verily, here comes
I
your
do not
owl.
shoot a
So I focus my intention. I manifest where I want this to go, and through my goddess, I communicate to the owl where I would like them to deliver my love note, and I kiss it, and I present it to the owl.
The owl is looking at you with its golden eyes, and as you present the note, it just hops a little hop flight to the next tent. And then it sits on that looking at you.
So I walk over to the next tent,
And then it does a little hop
understanding the
flight.
fickle nature of the owl. Yeah.
It does a little hop flight onto the Londinium kind of signpost and sits there and looks at you.
And I go there too. The owl is my, I'm following the owl.
All right, you're following an owl. Fantastic. You're praying.
I mean,
fantastic.
because what are the odds that it showed up? So it's trying to tell me something.
All right. Tamura and Linnell, what are you up to?
I would like to go. So I'm not very indulgent. So I'm going to feign drinking, but I would like to go find the Picts, and I would like to get them as drunk as humanly possible so that they have the worst hangover tomorrow.
All
That
right.
is what I'd like to do.
Fantastic. But the
And-
thing is, do you
Mhm.
like Picts?
No, I don't like them, but I am very deceitful, so
Do
I'm
you
leaning on
actually
that.
hate Picts?
I do hate Picts.
You hate Picts. If you go hang with Picts, I'm going to make you roll your hate Picts passion. And if you roll under it, shit's going to get started. You will just rage. Like
You
you
gotta
cannot
do it.
stand the idea with being, even though they didn't personally murder your family, they are of a geographical area of people who
Right.
murdered your family. So you can
Yeah.
do that for sure, but that's the risk.
Okay. It's always a risk.
All righty, Tamura, you see Linnell striding towards where the Picts are drinking with this look on her face.
Oh, very
She's just got mugs in her hand.
Yeah, just so I
Nice.
just see you
Let's drink.
walking with mugs. I have my small tankard that has probably hair in it and on it. Partying hard?
Yes. Yes. They like to drink. I'm just going to help them with it.
Can I help you help them?
You want to help me help them drink?
Sure. I don't know. I have an appointment later.
Oh, the
A
appointment
very
is
important
now.
one.
The
Oh,
appointment
just
is
kidding.
now.
I gotta go.
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
Have a good archery session.
Oh, the archery session, but also something incredible is going to happen later in the courtyard or into the what did you say? I'm so sorry earlier. The man who gave me
that's
what
right.
was it?
He
Is it the courtyard or
yeah,
is
the
it?
courtyard of St. Paul's?
St. Paul's.
Oh yeah, St.
So
Paul's, yeah.
Yes, St. Paul's. Something incredible is going to happen there, and I don't know if you want to miss it, but I certainly don't. And at night is when Tamora is closest to her god. So the goddess of the moon, Diana. So like she has sort of like a witchiness about her, an expression that is a little wild, but not frantic. Just like I have a secret, and you could know if you want.
I don't practice your ways, but I'm intrigued to see. However, I'm on a mission, and I take all these tankards and I like barrel
All right.
off towards the camp.
Let's have that hate picks roll now.
Oh God. You don't think that my hate for Picts would come into play into trying to sabotage their success tomorrow? Because the thing that I was trying to figure out about is that although I am vengeful, it says that I'm merciful and not
Fantastic.
cruel.
Great. We can
and that,
yeah. So we can oppose these rolls. So we're gonna roll in both of them. You're gonna roll your merciful starting.
Okay. All right, let's go merciful. And merciful's a 7 under 13.
Okay, so you okay, I can not kill these particular picks right now. Okay.
Right.
And now we're gonna roll our hatred of them.
Okay, all right, let's roll high. Come on. My hate is at a 15, so I gotta get over 15.
You're right, good luck.
And that's a 6, so
Your plan is holding then. But however, there's definitely, you can see her teeth, like you can hear Dame Linnell's teeth are grinding. She says, I have to go do something, like
They go.
Alrighty. So
In the
you
background,
are
the man
there
is chasing
with your
an owl.
beers. And you
In the
can see
background,
that that young knight with his brother, and the old knight is kind of saying, well, you've got to fight in the morning, so don't not make sure you're back soon. And the little brother saying, are you sure this is a good idea? Of course it's a bloody good idea, come on. So that young fool knight is taking his little squire brother into London, into the party, and they're literally kind of walking across your path.
wait, is it who?
The fellow,
Who are
the
they?
family you met earlier, the hedge knight.
Oh,
on
the one that
road.
had okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I am kind of intrigued by that. Oh, wait, is this a time for me to actually roll my intrigue to see if it's enough to pull me away from what I'm doing?
It's well, you could just decide, I think, because it's not so much an intrigue, it's more a kind of decision of that guy doesn't know what he's doing, but he's full of himself, and his brother is going along with it.
Well, unfortunately, I really hate the Picts, though, so I'm just gonna keep going in that
Right.
camp.
Okay, dead set. Off you go. So you get in amongst the Picts, and you arrive with beer. They think that's great.
Yeah, and so I'm gonna feign the whole night just as if I'm there, and I'll just stare at them as I sit.
Their capacity to drink the beers you have provided, like literally, you
I
arrive with
know.
all these beers, and then you kind
They
of
can drink
turn
a lot.
around, and they've all got empty mugs. So
Yeah, I keep filling them up. I just keep it
all right,
going.
you're going to have to go into London to get more beer. Get a barrel to roll it out.
If it's only more beer in London.
Yeah.
All right,
But-
so
Pretty dry city, pretty dry.
It's also like sizing them up so that I know who's going to be fighting tomorrow and just
Alright,
getting a lay of like.
this is an
yeah.
excellent plan. I'm going to see if they are indulgent, and I'm going to give them a 15 indulgent. All right, and so they have rolled a 12, so they are well on the way. Keep it coming,
Great.
and they will be nobbled. There's like putting a horse off its stride before a race. So there is praying in St. Paul's. The owl, you realize, is flying kind of towards the White Tower. The owl clearly wants you to deliver the bloody poem yourself. Now, the owl never quite arrives, okay? But you're being taken towards the White Tower, which means you're also being taken towards St. Paul's. You're walking to St. Paul's. You're in the streets getting another kind of barrel of beer.
I'll
the
head to
frisky hand of fate.
And so I think it is all of you converge upon the courtyard of St. Paul's at the same time. You're rolling a huge barrel of beer past. You're here, Tamura. I keep on putting where on screen. It's utterly pointless. I'm sorry. I wish we were all at a table, but this is pretty good. People can watch it at home. Tamura, you are like there kind of seeing what's going to occur. Avrain, you've arrived with your owl. And the minute you arrive, the owl like flies behind a building, and an old man walks out the other side of the building and makes his way along the road and out of sight.
And I just let him walk past, and I'm peeking, looking for where the owl went.
All right. And at that moment, Diana, the moon goddess, there's a cloud, the winter and a shaft of moonlight comes right down and glints off the hilt of a sword, which is embedded in an anvil, which is embedded in a stone in the courtyard of St. Paul's Cathedral. And Asterius, you were here like the light, you're on the back pew. For whatever reason, you kind of turn around, little flash of light, and you look out to where there is a sword in an anvil, in a stone that was not there when you walked to church like half an hour ago. It was not there. So all of you on different sides of the courtyard are the only people who are looking at this. And that is where we will take a short break.
Wow.
So there is the scene, St. Paul's Cathedral on the 9th of January, a winter night with Diana, the moon goddess in the sky. Was it Diana or just the movement of clouds and wind? But that exact shaft of light strikes upon a sword which is of two facing dragons. Extraordinary sword, driven into an anvil, driven into a stone. And there is a Latin inscription on the stone. You are the only 4 people in London, because everyone is either in church doing the right thing or well away from church partying on. So it's this strange moment of quiet in the eye of the world at this kind of momentous occasion. It is just you here. But you could all make a recognize roll for me. And I'm going to add 5 to this skill because the sword's quite famous.
This tracks so much for me.
Not when you're distracted by your love in a white tower, it does.
That's true.
My guy is like, that looks like another sword.
Yeah.
I got a 14.
Yeah.
I got an 18.
All
Like,
Oh, no.
in a good way. So like I hit my 12, or I hit, with the
you
added
got a critical?
4. Yes.
Nice.
Exactly.
I just got a
Okay.
regular
Yeah.
recognize. I got 6.
Okay, great.
I-
So you're
You were
recognizing
sent by
7
the
and
lady in the
5.
lake,
So
for Christ's
if you
sake.
roll
I mean, if I
exactly-
didn't recognize it, I would fail my job,
if
honestly.
you roll exactly the target number,
Mhm.
that's a critical. I forgot to say, when you rolled a 20 earlier, KP, for your battle, you get an experience check for that because you fumble. But we learn in life. We learn from mistakes. We go, well,
I
don't
love
do
that.
again.
Think about that.
What?
Think about that.
Yeah.
So,
If you made along the way.
all right, but the critical, that is the sword of Uther Pendragon. That is the old king's sword, lost after he was poisoned by his rivals. The sword disappeared. It was never known. Here it is, in an anvil, in a stone, in the courtyard. You 4 are here. You have seen it.
Tamora approaches the sword and is sort of circling it and looking, and makes like piercingly direct eye contact with Sir Everin. And who is worthy of this great honor?
Sword?
Is this the sword? Do you not know what this sword is?
I do, and we'll say it at the same time.
Great.
On three.
Yes.
I-
What?
I- of course,
Ah.
yes.
I totally know. The
No,
name
I-
of this.
I'm
don't know.
I'm gonna sneak on in. Critical. The sword is Clarent. Clarent is the name of Ufa.
Oh, the name of the sword.
Clarent.
Clarent.
Clarent. Okay. So yes, on the
And,
count of 1, 2, 3, we will say the name of the sword.
Mhm.
Since I
One,
since I succeeded, would I
2,
recognize?
3.
3,
Beatrice.
Clarent.
What?
Okay.
I meant yes.
I was about to say
Clarence.
that, but you went really fast. I thought it was supposed to be on the count of 3 and not after 3.
Yes, I didn't know if it was like on 3, and 3 for me is the word Beatrice, so I say that first,
Oh.
and then I was going to
I
say
see.
Clarence. So.
You are strikingly handsome. Can I just stop my train of thought real quick to just tell you?
I
you
I
are,
appreciate that.
like,
I mean, it's
and
like,
I don't know if people tell you that. Do people tell you that you're very handsome in the
look,
face?
I don't. It's not about this. I get it,
Yes.
but it's not
Sorry,
about
it was
that.
just
Clarence,
distracting
back
me
to
for
the
like a
sword.
second.
Thank you.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
so
No. I
much.
just have to. I see it. I say it. You know what I mean?
What
Fair
is the
enough.
sword of Uther Pendragon doing here?
That's a very good question.
Asterius, you can come out of the cathedral behind still. Lots of praying going on back there.
Oh, I apologize. I thought I was already out, but okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So I as I come, I'm like, oh, I apologize. Is this a party? I didn't mean to intervene. I was just.
Hello.
Ooh, that's a beautiful. Did someone lose a sword? I feel like someone must have.
Hand of fate has drawn us here.
The hand of.
The 4 of us.
Asterius, as you come around in this strange moonlight, you can see the inscription. It's Latin, and you're very learned. You're from Constantinople, so you can read it. And what it says is, "Whoso pulleth out this sword of this stone and anvil is rightwise king born of all England."
Oh.
You're from
Does anybody
Constantinople.
else?
You can clearly read this. Why don't you read it aloud?
I mean, well, it seems like a set of instructions. Let me. I wonder. Can I reach for the sword?
You can.
Oh.
Can
No, it's not
I
gonna work.
instinctively, it's not that I'm grabbing your hand to stop you. It's more of a just like a, that is also how people get cursed. So,
The Lord will
so-
protect me, and that's what I'll say. I was like, the one above will protect me as always.
I take my
I
hand
appreciate
back.
your concern.
All right. So you're
making
putting your
myself
hand on the hilt
cringe.
of the sword.
and I look at him and I go, Christians.
Asterius,
And I-
you're reaching for the sword.
Yes, I would like to see if I can grab the sword as I'm, and it's like not even like as if it was just
It's
him.
quite-
It's
Yeah, you
reading
can.
the instructions of a
you
manual.
can-
it feels
Pendragon
like.
may vary. He could be the king of England.
Exactly.
I mean,
We're
who
about
knows?
to find out.
We don't know.
All right. So you
There's
reach
so
out.
many timelines.
It's definitely a sword. The half. This sword this sword has seen war. Uther Pendragon fought hard. He was a warlord. He slew Vortigern, laid siege from he slew Gorloy. So it's a notched kind of old sword. So it's a bit of flex in it, but it seems pretty wedged. Do you want to give it a heft?
Why not?
Do you even know how to wield that?
All right, make a strength roll.
Oh Jesus! As I look over
Wow.
to I'm more of a pike user myself, but I don't.
Make a roll.
Okay. Oh, this tracks so much. I got a 19
All right.
with a strength of a 12.
All right. So you start to kind of go for it and you go, Yeah, that's real. So you're really going to lean into it, or
Wedged
you're going to
in,
go, this is not for me.
Yeah.
And I go, I'm like, well, that seems very firmly wedged in. I don't know how that happened, but I feel like it.
My train of thought
to-
is like if I might be the king of England and then I could win her heart, and immediately my hand's on the hilt.
All right. What?
Yeah, as I-
Is-
By the way,
oh,
as I-
is
as I
great.
was
Is this
reading the
a one or a
instruction-
two-hander?
Oh,
It's a two-hander.
Here we
Nice.
go. Strength roll.
I do want to mention that as I was
So-
reading the instructions, I was reading it out loud, so you guys could
yes.
also hear.
Right way
Strength roll. Strength roll.
Tomorrow's face is like,
Would
I thought you
like
guys
to be
knew.
inspired by your passion for the lady.
Heck yeah.
All right, roll under your
Yes.
passion first. Under
Which
your
is
adoration.
okay. Yes.
How'd you go?
I rolled a 20.
I have to look up
boy.
the rule now. Oh, my
You
word.
triggered something
You have
weird.
fumbled a passion roll.
yeah. What does
I'm
that
very
mean?
passionate.
This is a horrible realization. It's like, I will
Look, no
do it
bad
for
rolls,
her.
only good stories.
And you have this crushing realization that she doesn't know who I am, and she never will. It like
No.
just absolutely.
Oh.
Oh, you immediately lose a point off your passion for her, or adoration. Cross off a
Oh.
point. All right.
Oh,
And
that's so
yeah,
sad.
if we were playing the full campaign, you'd kind of run mad into the woods now, but we won't quite do that. At this moment, maybe
heart
there
is
is
running
another
madly into
reason.
the
Maybe
woods.
she was just the thing that drew you to London. But certainly you realize that she doesn't know who you are. In
She's
fact,
just
now-
not that
now,
into
I'm going to
you.
have you make an awareness roll, because somebody
Okay.
has been actually looking at you every day since she was a little girl.
That's a 6.
Is that a
My
roll?
awareness is an 8, so I rolled okay.
Well, if only she looked at me the way Gwen looked at me. You've never realized Gwen, Leonigrant's daughter, has been kind of clocking you the whole time.
Have I noticed this now, or just not
No,
there?
no, you have not.
Well, you just said awareness. This
Yeah,
is
as
a
in,
thought that
it's
goes
a
through my head.
retrospective awareness.
And then the song "Love the One You're With" rolls through my head.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So anyway, about this sword, are you
Uh,
going to pull it out, or are you going to kind of stagger away a bit?
Oh, I can't. Didn't I try and it didn't work?
No,
and
no,
it
you didn't get
it-
round to trying. You tried to be inspired by your passion.
Oh,
So
okay,
roll
so-
your
so what-
roll your
so-
strength minus 10.
Strength
Minus-
minus 10. Where's my strength?
It's
And the
top
characteristics.
left. Under
Characteristics. So that's
There
a
it is.
0. I can't roll a 0.
No, that's true. You can't. All right. So that thing is firm. It is not for you.
And I just go. I was just checking
Yes.
because I was worried about my
see.
friend. I'm serious.
We need to report
And
that
now I
to, like, a lost
know
and found.
you're good, man. This thing isn't going anywhere.
I told you
Uh,
it's wedged in deep. I don't know.
I
Someone
would-
must have lost it.
I would like to I don't know. I'm trying to describe how I'm walking, and I want it to be sort of like floaty walking. Like I'm fully creepy right now.
Yeah.
um,
You missed.
just so yes. And I look at the sword, I put my hands on it, and I'm not
when
pulling
you cocked
it.
your head, it was like
What?
Yeah.
you were going full grudge on me.
And can I say that I feel like Linnell catches Tamura's eyes right as she's going for the sword and sort of like smiles a bit and says, "These men are all the same."
Oh no.
So
And that's yeah.
you're holding the sword, and you have a little
Mhm.
because the last person to touch this sword was Sir Evrian, who suddenly realized that Guinevere, the daughter of King Leonigrants, has been checking him out the whole time. And so because he was the last person, he realizes the Lady of the White Tower is nothing, Guinevere has been loving him the whole time. And you have suddenly realized, you do realize why you like Gwen. She reminds you of that weird French kid You know, the one that Vivian adopted? His name was
Oh,
call him
yeah.
Lancelot now.
Love that kid.
Lancelot of the Lake.
Lancelot is super chill. He's good vibes.
Yeah, he's a bit
Yeah.
of a weird kid.
He's super weird.
Slightly obsessive.
Yeah.
And you remember when you were Lancelot says, "You are a fantastic archer, Tamura. I've never seen the like. Shoot this apple from my head." Now, if you miss, you're going to shoot him in the face and he's going to die. I trust you. Did you shoot the arrow?
I did.
Well, have a roll on your archery then. Good luck with that. Would you like to be inspired by your love of your lady, as in not to shoot her adopted son in the face
Yes.
with an arrow?
My lady is everything to me. And
Let's
by
see if you're
extension, her
inspired
son
by
is
it
as well.
in this flashback.
I'm rolling archery.
No,
maybe?
start
No?
with your inspiration, your passion for your lady.
Oh, that's better.
yeah.
12.
So
No, my
we're-
archery is good too.
Okay, so your homage to your lady.
Yes.
Right, so now that you're in passion, you get to add 5 to your archery skill.
Nice.
So roll your archery with +5. Go.
I nailed it because I can't roll lower than a 20.
All right.
Yes,
Excellent.
I
Shot
just
the apple
realized
off his
that.
head. He just trusts you. He just, Anyway, that's it. So weird moment, like you're going, why am I thinking about Lancelot?
Yeah.
Guinevere. Very strange. And Linnell's going, whatevs. As a kid says, have any of you seen my brother? I think he's fallen in with the wrong crowd. It's that squire, the young kid.
Oh.
Linnell, the one that you knew,
Mhm.
one on the road. Have you seen my brother? I lost track of him. Dad's gonna kill me.
Not since he wandered off earlier. I haven't
All
seen
right,
him
well,
since.
let me know if you see him. What's going on anyway?
Oh, none of
I
your
just-
business, kid.
Oh.
Yeah, well, good luck with it.
Tamura.
Yes. And I'm snapping out of it. I don't believe anybody here is worthy of this sword, save for perhaps. Do you wield a sword, Linnell? Sorry, it's hard to zoom.
Of course I do. I have a perfectly good sword at my side.
I am not meant to wield swords. I would not pull this sword as to have the ego to do so. But-
Linnell
Well,
walks
listen,
up and she.
I
love
just
your
thought that was
energy
a
right now.
lost weapon. It was a weapon. I thought it was lost. Someone
Oh.
forgot it around here. And I
Yeah,
just
I'm
wanted
so
to
sorry.
return it.
That's so very kind. So this sword here is bathed in the light of my goddess. It is
Oh.
a sign.
The moonlight?
All right, Linnell, what you
Yes.
do?
I go and I
Christian.
put my hand on the hilts, on the top of the sword, and I sort of think, she is modest and she does not seek to be any sort of monarch in any way. But what havoc could she wreak upon the Picts if she were the ruler of England?
Oh, that is a dark path.
Are you going to
man.
be
Oh.
inspired by our hatred of Picts?
Yeah, I
you're-
think so.
All right, roll on your hatred of Picts. Vengeance, thy
I
name's
feel
Linnell.
I guess I'll let this roll see if that inspires me to pull or not, because I think that's the
Uh-huh.
only reason she would. And I think it's a critical. It's like 15 on the 15.
Oh my God, you absolutely want this.
So
Yeah, you
I'm
get to-
okay. I guess I really want it.
Yeah, you get to add 10 to your strength.
Oh,
this
no.
thing out.
Snap.
Add 10 to your
This
strength.
is not what I thought was gonna
All right.
Okay. And so there's like, it's like the look that comes over her is not like one of pride at all, but like of just like yeah, deep-seated vengeance. And she pulls, I don't think there's any way for me to fail this because my strength is now over a 20.
Yep. But it's
And I roll a 19, so
roll-
imagine.
Now, this is really, we're learning a rule. I love it when the dice know what to do. Okay. So, Pendragon, what's your strength?
My strength is normally an 11.
Normally 11. Okay. You are inspired. You got plus 10, right? To do this, you actually need to get a critical, right? But criticals double back. You actually add the 10 to the dice roll. So your chance to critical is actually 19. Exactly.
What?
Because your strength is 21. Your chance to critical is 19. So you've rolled exactly a critical, right?
What?
Because you're inspired.
What did
when
I
your
say?
skill goes over 20, it gets easier to critical. So you've gone
Oh.
and you haul that thing to hand and you lift it up with the anvil and the rock.
Yeah, okay.
The sword does not leave the stone, but you,
You
just
know-
rip the rock clear out of the
It's like,
courtyard.
Yes,
I mean,
go.
very impressive.
That's a lot of hate. That's a lot of hate. Is what that
How much
is.
hate?
I want to work on that.
and I
You
just
really
like
need to put it down now.
set it down. Yeah. Set it down angrily. Just like, I don't think it's gonna budge.
Well, the sword determines the king. So perhaps it's a good thing.
But technically, she
It-
kind of
but-
lifted
but
it,
a
right?
dog-
Doesn't that?
Wanders through the square.
I know. My trusty
What
dog is
color are
always
the
nearby.
dog's eyes?
What color are the dog's eyes?
Golden.
Yeah. Golden eye. Oh,
Golden.
Oh, they golden. Just asking for a friend.
The dog's got this real kind of expression. None of you can draw this sword. Are you going to tell people about it?
I sort of say, I wouldn't want to be king of this damn country anyway, or land. But I don't know, whatever.
Well, I hear you on that.
Yes, it's not about who's actually king, but who has the ear of the king.
Heavy is the head.
Interesting.
Oh, he didn't come back this way, did he?
Oh, you're looking for your friend, brother.
My brother.
son? Got it.
What's your brother's name?
What did he
Kay.
look like?
Hank?
Kay.
Okay.
Oh, not at all that.
Like
Boy, what's your name?
My name's Wart.
Wart?
Well, that's what he calls me.
Oh,
Who?
Oh.
What's your true name?
Oh, it doesn't matter if I be bloody dead man is what I'll be if I don't find him.
We'll help you find them. Where's the last place you saw him?
It's a bear fighting, and I think someone was throwing fire around. I'm really lost.
Perhaps he was mauled by a bear and let on fire. Is that what you're?
Oh, that'd be bloody typical. All right.
Okay.
I mean, perhaps we can take him to the church and they could find him.
Oh, maybe perhaps we could. I lean down to the kid, look him in the eyes, and I say, "My goddess is the goddess of hunt. We can find them. We can track them."
Oh, yeah. All right, that'd be good. Let's do it. I'll follow you.
I'm gonna go. I'm going to the bear pits. I feel like that is logical.
All right. Okay.
Is
What are
that-
you hunting?
Oh no, that is a 16 over 10.
All right. Okay. So you are off to the bear pits. You're looking for the missing brother. The rest of you three, what are you up to?
Gonna go.
Are you gonna come to the bear pits? Ooh.
Okay. All right. Everyone can
Wait.
roll their hunt. You can all roll your hunting if you want to help the search for him.
Yeah, we might as well
Nothing
come
better
with
to
you.
do. Yeah.
Although as we're walking, I sort of muse, like, why did we stumble upon that stone? Perhaps we are merely
Locked.
stewards. Perhaps we are meant to bring someone to it, the rightful king. I'm talking the whole time, which is why I rolled a terrible hunt of 19.
All right.
I rolled a
Do I-
15.
Okay.
I rolled
No
a
one's hunting.
13.
It's hard to find. All right. So Linnell, you are with Wart, and you're having this kind of thought, and he's like really kind of alarmed right now.
Mhm.
Well, I was saying
do I
this
roll
to the
hunt
others. I
again?
don't really care about one.
All right. I think
I do.
Wait, did
Family's
you
important
roll
to me.
well? Yeah, you
Oh.
care, you care.
for a hunt. You will all go in different places. There's no point hunting together. So you
I
That
see.
makes sense.
You-
Okay,
I've
so
never been hunting.
Tamura should go with the kid because she's more caring than I am.
Okay. Alrighty. But so out you go trying to find the missing brother. There is the crowds, it's heaving, everybody's absolutely kind of off their faces. The few've got a fight starting, a couple of killings. It's wild night in London. If you had any money on your purse, you probably don't have it now. Gargaloo, like look out below, stepping out, the streets are heaving. It's impossible to kind of find anyone. And indeed, it will be pure luck that you even lose Wart in the
No.
kind of heaving
no.
crowd as well.
Oh no.
Until you're now kind of we lost our charge.
Can I roll another hunt to find?
Everyone make an awareness roll.
Okay.
But we're all separated, right? Is that
Yeah.
not what you're okay? Terrible.
I rolled a
mine's way over.
17. Now I'm obsessed with
Yep.
Guinevere, so my
Yeah.
awareness is very low.
Yeah.
I also rolled a 17.
What is this?
15.
17.
So, the owl's back. Doink.
There you are.
Owl. All right.
Have you been hiding
The owl is
yourself?
kind of looking at you, and it's looking back towards St. Paul's.
All right. Very good.
Okay.
The owl
And-
led us to the sword.
All right.
The owl will lead us to
this
another
point,
answer.
That it's about the point all of you are kind of lost, kind of given up. As you are approaching the courtyard, again, no one has seen this here, but you will hear an argument. Well, you shouldn't have let me take it with me. I can't control if you take your bloody sword or not. Well, now what am I going to fight with tomorrow? Like, well, I don't know what you're going to do. Well, we'll get another one. Where are we going to get another one? Everyone's using theirs. You're useless, Wart. You're useless. Huge argument taking by. And as you walk into the square, everyone, you will see the young boy just grab the sword and say, what about this one? Shook. And just pulls it out like it's butter.
Oh.
Well,
I
guess
turned to
that
the rest
was-
of them. We loosened it,
I
right?
s-
We loosened it.
You
You
all
literally
right.
lifted it out of the stone. Like lifted the stone itself up. I feel like we loosened it.
Yeah, quite. So
I
from
immediately
different areas of the
dropped to a
courtyard,
knee.
having given up on your hunt, each of you arrives and each of you sees this moment where whoop, he just hauls it out. Just use this one. It's just, no one needs it.
Wait,
Yeah.
Wart pulled it out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also
Look,
immediately dropped to a knee.
Arthur, I guess I'll let you through this time, all right. And Kay belts it on.
Did he call him? What did he just call him? Boy, what's your
So
full
he-
name? What's your whole
His
name?
his older brother took the
Hi
sword.
everyone. Found Kay. Whew. lost his sword. Oh, God, he'd lose anything if. Anyway, it's all right. I found him another one.
Okay. That sword doesn't belong to you, does it?
Well, it's a spare, and I'll need one to fight with tomorrow.
Are you fighting tomorrow, Kay? How old is Kay?
Kay is 21.
Oh, I thought
Half-
child. That's
No, this is great.
His younger brother is 15.
And it was the younger brother that pulled it out, right? Just
Yep.
clarification.
Yes.
Okay. If you don't mind, I have a much better sword that looks quite flimsy and dented, and you could see there's a little bit of a bend. It looks a little rusted as well. How about? And then I see like there's a sword that's very ornate on his side, clearly more so meant for as a kind of a status symbol. Not one that has probably never actually even left its sheath. He uses his pike more so than the sword. It's just something he carries around, and he kind of offers it up. And he goes, I think this, my lord, I feel like this would actually be a much better option for you.
You should tick your deceitful right now.
Oh.
In Pendragon, you don't have to put
Oh,
the to say
no.
that's deceitful. So yes, you can. Well, Kay thinks that's great. You know. Oh yeah. Oh, thanks very much. So
Oh man.
Yeah, I want to go over
Oh,
to
yes!
Wart. I want to go over to
Everett-
Wart
Yeah.
as well, and like put my hands on his shoulder. How old is Wart? Is Wart the younger brother?
15.
15.
15.
Yeah,
15,
I'm
okay.
with Wart as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
I put my hands on his shoulders and whisper and say, that sword is yours, and don't you ever let anyone take it from you. It was meant for you.
I have tears in my eyes as I look up at Dame Linnell, and I am at a knee. How far am I from Wart?
Oh, you're all there. You're all together, and Wart is going.
So I take out my sword and I plant it in front of me, and I just look at him and I pledge my fealty to this boy.
While this is happening,
Oh.
I'm trying to distract the older brother.
Oh no, he was totally in. Kay was absolutely into it. It's a beaten up sword with a couple of dragons on it. You know, crappy
All
old
right,
thing.
cool,
You've just
cool,
given him
cool,
an amazing sword. The deal has been done. Swords were
Can I
exchanged.
it's like I
Kay
said,
is
it's
gone.
dull. That sword is absolutely dull. It's
he-
never been sharpened in its
Kay
life.
is an idiot. He has no idea. Right? He thinks it's great because he's all about the like, I'm a young knight and I look cool. Like he thinks it's great. You now have the other sword, but Linnell has just looked at Wart and said, "That's your sword."
Yeah. I turn around and I
take it easy,
similar
now,
to
why are you kneeling to Sir Everin? He's having a big
Man,
night.
I look at Linnell. I look at Tamura. I look at Asterius, and I sort of kind of give the look like we all should take a knee.
Yeah, I think that in knowing the weight of the sword, like, and seeing that, I'm already down on a knee with you. There, hand on heart, and I look at Wart, Arthur, and I say, the Lady of the Lake said that I would witness a shift in the world. That is in you.
Witness a what?
I say, Wart, they will cancel tomorrow's tournament because England has found its king.
All right. And at this point, Dubricius, Archbishop Dubricius, like people are leaving the cathedral, and Dubricius comes out and he sees at once this stone and this inscription, and he's got this look on his face. Was there a sword here?
yes, this
There
one right
was.
here. And you see
Asterius.
Asterius.
Did you draw that?
Oh
No. It's and I immediately lean forward and lean down and hold up the sword forward to Wart, and I said, it was actually Lord Wart is the one who pulled it out of the
All
Lord
right,
stone.
Wart.
You get an honesty check there. Could have been
Yeah.
King of Britain, like, you know, but you immediately hand it back. All right. It's like, say what now?
You have to understand, I just witnessed one person lift a damn sword, not just the sword, but the anvil and the stone itself out of the ground. I am not gonna lie right now and, and take that chance.
What's going on?
It's a very special sword you have there. One only available to those who are worthy to wield it. And that is you.
It is not a special sword. It is a special man.
I say to the bishop, I turn to him and say, "It seems you found your new king."
Then, what is your name, boy? What?
It's your name that you prefer.
As soon as he says word, I just go, "All hail Lord What?"
Arthur. All right. And all right, he's still kind of quite confused, but then he kind of turns and looks to Linnell, and he looks to his brother and says, "You really think it's mine?"
It is yours, boy. Believe me when I say that. Only you could pour it from that stone.
And he raises it up. There's cries of "All hail Lord What?"
Except Linnell does not take a knee though. She just turns around and walks out.
All right, so with resounding cries of Arthur and Wart and some kind of degree of confusion, and Leodegrance, king, comes out of the church with his daughters and says, "What's going on?" And his Gwen's there, and she says, "Who's that?" And somehow, this roving pack of kind of King Lot and his yahoos come through, and Lot kind of clocks it and says, "What trick is this? Are we to serve a beardless boy? I think not." And that is the beginning of the wars. Thank you, everybody. The sword has been drawn. And thanks to the influence of
I see a very long future with me and Guinevere.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I've enjoyed this so much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
We changed the course of history.
Absolutely. So the Pendragon Starter Set is out now. This has been a somewhat remix of that moment, because I just really love that moment when the sword is drawn, but you'll find your own version. Your Pendragon will vary, and let's just say soon you will have to fight for it. So thanks very much, everybody. Is there somewhere that people can find your next thing, or somewhere they can watch you? So just sound off who you are again so that people know, and what you're up to. Let's do the same order as last time.
Sure. I'm Josephine McAdam. You can find me at JCVIM on all social media platforms. You can catch Surena and I in the Dungeon Run each Wednesday night on twitch.tv/The Dungeon Run. You can also catch me over on the Glass Cannon in Haunted City, and also doing some RuneQuest soon-ish. I don't know.
Ooh.
Time. It depends when this comes out. You keep track on socials. It's a little bit easier there.
Fantastic. All right. KP.
Hello everyone. My name is KP. You can find me as KP11 Studios on all your social medias, including Twitter and Instagram and everywhere else. Things that are happening or have happened most recently. If you love audiobooks, I recently co-narrated a book called A History of Burning by Janika Oza, which I'm very, very proud of. An amazing, amazing book that covers the history of a single Indian family across multiple generations, multiple continents, multiple cultures. It's a glorious and beautiful book, and so well written. And I highly, highly, not just because I voiced it, but even if you want to read it, just go and just enjoy and vibe with that book. It's an amazing one. Outside of that, I'm just taking it week by week, day by day. Next thing you might see me in is I'm going to be in Chicago, actually. So I'll be opening up. I'm a photographer as well. So if you are interested in getting some photo shoots done by me, I'll be opening up some slots there. Outside of that, the next big thing, I'll be out way down the line in September. Oh, we got a
I was
little
going to
bit.
say, people should definitely look you up, KP11 on Twitter, because you're there in full armor in your profile picture, so we know great photos do exist. All right,
Yes, you can
Surena.
see me there. So
Fantastic, Surena.
Hi, I'm Surena Marie. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok at Surena X Marie. I don't think that the X is on TikTok. It's just Surena Marie because no one stole my username. Also, you can catch me as a host in Jackbox Party Pack 10. The game I am hosting is called Fixie Text, and it's super fun. It's a super fun game. And yeah, and if you like cozy illustrations, you can also catch me on my art Instagram at Surena is a bee, spelled like bumblebee.
Fantastic. All right. And Todd.
I'm Todd Stashwick. I'm on Twitter at Todd Stashwick. I'm on Instagram at T Stashwick. You can watch me on Paramount Plus as Captain William Shaw of the Starship Titan on season 3 of Picard. If you want to see me a lot more killy, you can watch me as Deacon on 12 Monkeys on Hulu. And you can go check out my nerdy merch. I got groovy wares and nerdy paraphernalia at thenerdcircus.com. Bunch of t-shirts and Mai Tai glasses and dice towers.
You have a book?
I do.
Book.
I am partially sold out of the book. But you can get it at traderbrandon.com right now. So if you want the book, go over to his site. He's the co-creator of the book. So that's about it.
I adore you all. You will always be. Oh, sorry.
Then I'll be at various conventions all summer long. So I might be in a town near you.
If you're in Dallas,
Trek begins for me.
You will
Dallas.
always be Linnell, Tamara, Asterius, and Evrian to me. It's been fantastic. My name is Mark Morrison. Now, the Pendragon Starter Set's available now. You can also download, look at this, The Adventure of the Sword Tournament for free as a Kickstarter from Chaosium.com. So you can pile in, see the characters and the rules, and I can't wait to hear about your adventures. Thanks, everybody. Have a glorious
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.